I've got this rather attractive piece of polystyrene packaging, which I'm going to be turning into a party decoration of a infinity light. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to remove the cardboard here, and then I'm going to paint the whole thing black. So as you can see, it stands out quite nicely, so I think it will be quite good. Cut a strip of cardboard which is 3 centimeters wide, which is the depth of my holes that I'm putting the lights into, and the length that I've taken is 61 centimeters, and that's just going around following the pattern of the recess. I've joined my 2 pieces together just using some masking tape and checked to see that it's fitting in the recess. I've measured the size of my holes, and I've got a span that goes 17 centimeters by 18 centimeters, and I'm just using a little tiny cup like that to put in the corners and trace it around it so that I can get the corners to curve around like that. And I'm going to be measuring in 1.5 centimeters from the top on all the sides and doing the same curve on the corners. So I've marked it all off, and now I'm going to cut this section out. I've cut the other piece out, which is this one here, which I'm going to be attaching after I've painted them all black. I've got a piece of plastic that they normally use for covering big posters. What I've done is I've taken one of the pieces that we cut out and I've placed it on there and just traced around it, and I'm going to be cutting that out so we can make our one-way mirror. So you need to cut 2 of this particular piece. To make my one-way mirror, I'm going to be using this metallic Silio. You can use the more expensive mirror film, but this is good enough as this is just a decoration for a party. So once again, I'm going to be using the same template to cut the Silio out. So I'm just going to trace around that and then cut that out. Before I put my Silio onto my piece of plastic, I'm going to be gluing it down onto the one piece. I'm just using hot glue to do this. So just like with mirror film, I'm going to be placing it onto my piece of plastic, and I'm using a fine mist spray bottle to spray a mist of water all over there, and then I'm going to squeeze the bubbles out. Now when you're working with Silio, you just have to go a little bit more careful with it so that you don't take the colour off. So try and go gently on the paper. I've cut my Silio paper just a little bit shorter than the sides here, because once I put it on, I need to tape it down to the cardboard so that when I put the other piece on to glue it, the paper doesn't just peel off. So we're going to put that down now. I'm just using a tissue to smooth out the bubbles on this. So I've placed it on and I've squeezed out all the bubbles, so it's sitting nice and flat on my piece of plastic. I'm just using sellotape or sticky tape to glue the edges down so that when I glue this piece on, as I said, this piece is not going to peel back off. I've got it all taped down now, and now I'm just going to glue that piece on top. And once again, I'm just going to be using hot glue to do that. I've cut another strip of cardboard which is 2 centimeters wide, and I'm going to paint that black as well, and that's what I'll be attaching the lights to. I've got a strip of LED lights which I'm going to be trimming down now. I've cut my black piece of cardboard to size, and now I'm placing the lights so that I've got the wires sticking off the one side. Now when you cut your lights, make sure that you're only cutting them in the position that you can. So you'll see there's a clear marking as to where you can cut these particular lights. So make sure that you only cut it there, otherwise the other ones are not going to work. So I've got the length that I need. Now I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and cut just along the line where it's indicated. I don't know whether you can see. There's a small line just there which you can cut along. So I'm just cutting that. As you can see, because I cut it in the right place, all the lights are working. I've got my piece of cardboard for the lighting in the main casing now, and I'm going to glue that all in and then put the lights onto the strip. So I'm just using hot glue to glue this piece in. And then just glue all the way around. I'm sticking the light strip down, and I've got the electrical wires so that they're in a corner, because I'm going to be putting a hole through there so that the electrical cords can go through to the back to the power supply. Now I'm just going to pull the self-adhesive backing off and stick it to my piece of cardboard like that. I bought a pack of these mirror tiles, which I'm going to be using. So I'm going to take one out and then cut it to size so that it actually fits into my little compartment. Because these mirror tiles are flexible, I'm going to be gluing it onto a piece of cardboard and then cutting that out. So the easiest way to get the backing off, because it's quite hard if you try to find an opening where you can peel it. So I'm just taking some sticky tape and putting it on the back like that. Just stick it right in the corner, and a piece on the front. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult because this blue piece actually peels off as well. So I'm just going to hold that and then just pull it back, and then it comes off quite nicely. I've got the mirror fitted in there, and this one I've actually left the blue filter on it. I know it makes it a little bit murky, but it looks quite nice. So when I put the front cover on now, so that's what it's going to look like. It doesn't pick up very well on the camera because all you can see is a reflection of me. So stepping back a wee bit, let's go to a different angle. There you go. So using the tape again to remove the blue covering, so I'm just going to take that off. My personal opinion is these stick-on sticker mirrors are not quite as shiny as what you would get in a normal mirror, but they work quite effectively to make a party decoration. There's a little bit of a better picture going sideways like that. So there's my party infinity light. Very, very cheap and easy to make.